What's up, delinquents? Welcome back to another video. So this is going to be mostly just like a talking head video. I'll probably have like a few like B-roll shots or like little pictures or whatever, you know, but I just wanted to put together a quick little video while I was driving to work. Sorry if it's bouncy. I just have it in my phone mount in my van. I have been asked and questioned about my decision on what bike I've picked. So if you may or may not know, I have sold my Grom. It's been gone for a while now, and the bike I bought to replace it was a 2020 KTM 690 SMC R Supermoto. There's some debate there on whether it's a Supermoto or not. It looks like a Supermoto. It's basically a Duke 690 dressed up like a dirt bike. But a lot of people are like, why did you pick that? It makes like 74 horse. Why not just build a FZ07 like everybody else does? It's got a gas tank mounted in the rear. Like, isn't that going to be a problem? And the big reason why I picked that is because the FZ07 is what everybody else picked. Or switching to a Harley Sportster 1200 is what everybody else picked. I am not trying to follow the grain. I'm trying to work against the grain and do my own thing and build a name for myself. I don't think as a stunt rider I can ever compete with the top of the top because I just have so much going on. But I'd like to do something different and make a name for myself, being known as the guy that did it different, as the guy that did it on the bike that wasn't really meant to be stunt ridden and stuff like that, you know? That's a big reason why. You see a mass exodus of people switching to Harleys right now because nobody else is doing it. But that's the thing, is now everybody's doing it. Same with like the FZ07 or the R7, you know, or, you know, if you were a Grom rider and then you went to like a 0304 636 or F4i, or even if you were an old school rider and started on the 0304 and then you went to the Grom when that was a big thing. Like, it just happens. But I don't want to follow the path that everybody else has chosen because everybody else is already doing that. Same with like the Suron. Like, everybody's switching to that right now as well, you know? And like, I'd like to have one of those too, but realistically I couldn't keep both the Grom and get a new bike at the same time, finances wise. So I sold the Grom. I'm going to change things up and I'm going to try and kill it on a bike that really isn't meant to be killed on. And I know you're all worried about the gas tank. I've been sent the same video of the guy looping his 690 and then catching on fire by so many people.
Hey, fuck! Komm, schnell aufstehen, aufstehen, aufstehen!
And yeah, it's a worry, it's a concern. I'm kind of hoping that I can maybe figure something out with that eventually. Like, build like maybe some sort of cage around that off of the frame. It's going to take a lot of custom work, a lot of welding onto the frame to make it happen. But you know, I'd like to figure something out. Most loops I've seen though on the 701, the 690 and all that have not resulted in flames, you know. As just this one particular video, he landed straight on the gas tank, cracked it, and then it must have just touched something hot and ignited, you know. So, you know, I hope it doesn't happen to me. It could happen, you know, nothing's ever guaranteed in this world. But that's kind of the fun of it, is finding out what the problems are and trying to fix them and address them on my own. And you know, maybe the danger that everybody thinks of the 690 will make them see, you know, how far I'm willing to push it to the limit for something I love. And the big reason I even picked the 690 in the first place was because it's kind of almost the ideal bike. It just has that one big drawback, which is the gas tank in the back. I had a WR 450 and I loved that bike, but I couldn't ever ride it on the freeway to go to like Jackson Hole or or any other, you know, big trip, for example. So I had to pick something, and I wanted a supermoto. Like, if I built an FZ07, that's a heavy bike. If I put all the cages on it and sub cage, you know, just all the mods you do to a stunt bike, it makes it super, super heavy. And with the 690, where it's, you know, basically a supermoto, there's not really a whole lot I gotta do to it. You know, I'd like to do a cage on the back eventually if I can figure it out. But if not, you know, they're already meant from the factory to be kind of laid over on the side and not take a lot of damage, you know? So you realistically just have to do axle sliders and bar ends, and that's it. So anyway, where I was going with that is there was no supermoto option out there that was going to be able to work for me. I didn't want another Grom, you know, like a big bike that could only basically do what Groms do, because I want to be able to go on the freeway still, and it's 80 miles an hour here in Idaho. And realistically, the only options for that were the 701, the 690, or the new Gas 700, which are all the same bike. Or I'd have to get like a KLR 650 or whatever those old things are, you know, and that just wasn't, those are heavy, you know. The 690 is like 330 pounds or something like that, you know. So it just kind of seemed like the best fit for everything. Like an FZ07 would be very ideal, but I had an F4i and I tried to wheelie it and I really didn't like the weight. And I wheelied a buddy's FZ07 that's built up for stunting, and I really didn't like the weight. So, you know, lightweight bikes are just kind of my jam, you know. I like the swerves. I like the drop back. I love the no-handers. You know, it's just, it fits my style more, and that's why I picked that bike. So I know that was a lot of talking and rambling about it, but that's the long and short of why I picked that bike. Is it perfectly ideal? Definitely not. Most bikes aren't perfectly ideal for stunt riding right out of the box. You know, a lot of them will have certain mods you need to do to make it more either reliable or work for stunt riding, you know. But I don't know, I think it'll be a fun challenge, and it's a big reason why I'm doing it. So anyway, hopefully I didn't bore you guys with this video. I have more big news coming up soon to talk about with Street Delinquents, and I hope to see you guys in the reveal video for the 690. I've done a lot of work on it over the winter, and I'm very excited to show you guys everything I've done. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.